I mean, I read Bushkin's memoir about it, and it reads so true.
And apparently
Because
a way worse drinking problem than Ed.
he lived life to the fullest, and then was like, and smoked. He was just like, I'm going to go out strong. I'm going to do what I want to do. I was in World War II. I'm going to smoke, okay?
Yeah,
and
my thing.
he was a badass. I mean, beneath the genteel Midwestern guy who was super gracious. I mean, if anything, he was gracious, and what was one reason why he was so successful.
And also really had comedians' backs.
Oh,
always.
Totally had mine.
Yeah.
There was once when they wanted to fucking cut my head off, and he saved my ass.
Really?
Yeah, I made Reagan jokes that they didn't like, and his producer, Fred DeCordova, was the director of Bonzo.
What?
Bedtime for Bonzo.
He directed that?
Yeah, Fred DeCordova directed Bedtime for Bonzo. So he thought he was Reagan's best friend. So I just did jokes that were not cool to them, and Johnny saved my ass. Nobody else could have. So yes, he loved comedians. That's true.
Yeah. Really had their backs. But he also, you're right, he was from that generation where he used to have that bit, one of my favorite bits was the whole thing about Mr. Salty Pretzels.
Oh,
which is like everything right now is
like my
low salt and no salt. You're like, fuck you, Mr. Salty Pretzels. And we're from the makers of Mr. Tar and Nicotine Cig. Like, there was that generation that was just like, nothing can kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, fuck you. And fuck off.
Johnny would play tennis, and he'd, smoke between...
Oh, God, yeah. Could barely breathe. And,
smoke between games.
I love that at the end of David Lynch's life, because smoking killed him. Emphysema is what killed him. And he's like, but the way he said it was like, yeah, it has curtailed my life, but I got so much pleasure from smoking.
Well,
just like he owned it, like, I loved it.
I mean, my parents smoked. Somehow I avoided it all the way through until I was 20 and in college, and then stupidly took up the habit from 20,
you did?
From 20 to 40, yeah. But I can't deny that maybe one reason I did was that people did look cool smoking in movies. And Johnny...
The people that knew how to do it.
Johnny, my hero. Sometimes you'd catch him as they came back from...
He would do that. He would hide his fucking cigarette. Yep.
And you just see the smoke come out, and you go like, I want to be that guy. I don't know why. I just want to be that guy. And maybe that had something to do with what... So the people who are like, oh, you can't go after violence and stuff that people see in movies. Yes, you can. It's not the whole story, but it's definitely part of the story. When you make something look cool, like guns or smoking, impressionable minds, when they're young especially, are going to want to emulate it.
I saw that firsthand when I went to a movie theater, Bill. I went to see Friday the 13th, The Dream Warriors, with a young Patricia Arquette. And there was a kid behind me.
As your date?
No, not. She was not my date.
In the movie.
If Patricia Arquette was my date in high school, I wouldn't be here right now, Bill. Sorry, please.
The movie.
No, in the movie. She's in the movie. And there was a kid behind us. Me and my date were sitting there, and I was like, fucking cut that bitch. Kill that fucking bitch. And he had his, leather face T-shirt on and was like cheering it on. And we were like, the fuck is wrong with you? And then the lights came up, and he just kind of, once the lights were on, he scuttled out. And then I was like, Jesus Christ. And then a month later, there's a movie called Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer with Michael Rooker. It's his first movie. Again.
First? What was it last?
Michael Rooker has been in everything. He's in
Michael Rooker?
Michael Rooker.
You know all these things I don't know.
Michael Rooker is he's a character actor god. Anyway.
Oh, a character actor.
But he's in everything. He's in The Walking Dead. He plays
Never saw that.
Oh my Bill.
Why should I watch that? Tell me I'm willing to be educated.
I have this is the fucking movie Clueless, and I am Cher right now, and you are the fucking girl that I've got to remake.
I might be. But I'm going to get Fetch started.
But Henry, different movie. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer came out. And everyone was like, this is the most intense slasher movie. So all of the Friday the 13th, all of the Chucky, all of the Michael Myers fans went to see it. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is what violence actually looks like. And it was and I went and saw it. And when the movie was over, a third of the audience had left.
What year are we talking about?
89.
What is it called?
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
And he's a real serial killer.
Was
it a real story?
It's loosely based on Henry Lucas.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. Henry Lucas, he was a serial killer?
Henry Lee Lucas, who at the time everyone thought was the most prolific serial killer. And then it turned out cops were bringing him cold cases and he would just confess to them so they could close all their cases.
Wow.
It's fucking darker. It's one of the worst things. It's so awful. But they made this movie and Michael Rooker's in it and he's incredible. And it's so goddamn scary. But like you said, it wasn't making murder look cool. There wasn't a cool quip. There wasn't a cool angle. It was the way people actually die and like fight for their lives. And half of this audience that clearly was the people that were like, Freddy Krueger's so funny. They were gone. They were fucking gone when that thing was over.
You do know that serial killing, though, is over because of technology.
Well,
there hasn't been a recent serial killer because the technology got good enough in police work.
It's what my first wife was writing about.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's
familial DNA, and as she said it in her intro, or in her afterword of the book, you used to be the only guy looking through the window, and a million windows were opening around you, and you could never imagine this many windows around you. That's what she said, and yeah, you're right. That's gone. Although,
what a shame.
I know. I mean, look.
Damn.
No, I know. I'm sorry I brought that up. I know that bums you out.
All these jobs.
I know, dude.
And now we can't even be a serial killer.
Have fun. Let's have fun. Let's have fun here, dude. I don't want to bum you out. You want to hear something really weird? One of the homicide cops that Michelle used to talk to said the tragedy is in the 70s when I had on my desk at home 20 folders of missing kids, murdered kids, unsolved cases. And I would look across the street at this middle school, and there was a bike rack full of bikes. Kids would ride their bikes to school, and I wanted to go, like, what the fuck are you people doing? Like, I have this many. Now it's the early aughts. Those files are gone. We catch those people now. And I look across the street, and that bike rack is empty. And, like, we made the kind of world where your kids can now ride their bikes around. And now, because of all the murder documentaries, all the murder movies, you're so terrified they don't get to have the childhood that the kids in the 70s had but shouldn't have had because we didn't have the technology.
You think they shouldn't have had a free-range childhood?
No, they should have had a free-range childhood, but it was a dangerous free-range childhood. And now they took that danger away, and everyone's so scared now, they don't let their kids have that childhood.
I think it's worth I know it's going to sound harsh, but nothing is free in life.
No.
It is worth the risk that the vast majority of kids are able to grow up as kids. The fact that a kid cannot walk down the street alone now 2 blocks to the market to get something that the parents did is just, yeah. I mean, yes, is there a chance that someone's going to snatch a child who's alone?
Always.
There always is. And you know what? I just think, you got to play the numbers, and you don't want the entire population growing up as hothouse plants,
or crate raised veal,
right.
where they don't get to don't get the bumps and bangs of life, where you're